Welcome back.
Welcome back. And I'm at the crane.
You gonna do something with it?
I think so, but I don't know what exactly. Oh no, I can't even get in the crane anymore because I think I broke the crane forever.
What?
Oh no, it let me in because I moved the box. Like you sit in a box like over the air and you move it back and forth on this track to go pick up stuff. And to climb the ladder to get back up to the crane, the box isn't there because I have it halfway down the track. But you can still click the button and get in.
What's it do?
I don't know. That's the problem. I thought I was going to be able to pick up that huge log with it and like put it in the train and do something with it. But the big log sold. My small ones are still here. I'm trying to pick up. Okay, I just picked up the small log. I don't know what to do with it though. I have it though. Mine. Well, this log will forever live in this crane because I don't know what else to do with it.
Get it moving really fast and like fling it.
It doesn't move that fast. Yeah, that was dumb. I don't quite know what this is all about, but I'm gonna come on back home with this guy. Okay, so anyways, you don't understand something about online schools.
So what I don't understand is, whenever I went to high school, and how I understand college to be, before the internet, you go, you study, you take tests, and in a controlled environment where you can't cheat. But to me, if you told me in high school, all right, you can do everything that you do in class, but you can do it all online, you would just cheat. You would just open your book and do the tests and just cheat, right?
So I guess there's a couple things with that. One, have you ever taken a class where you didn't have a test?
No. What?
Oh, I've taken plenty of classes that there were no tests. It was all papers or projects that you had to do.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I guess my psych. Well, no, there's still some tests in psychology, but okay, mostly that. Okay.
So also, there's multiple choice tests that you can take online easily. It's very simple to set those things up in a world of online computers, but there's many opportunities, especially in my engineering school, my junior and senior year. I think every test that I took was like an open book test. And the professors did that for two reasons. One, they said in the real world you have access to this stuff. There's no reason not to give you access to it now to test your knowledge. For two, if you don't know the stuff, you will not get finished if you have to look up every answer.
Well,
there's not enough time that you, time tests. They're all time. You always
online
have the class period. Online, yeah, they'll usually give you a timer. The thing that really sucks about some of the online tests that I have had to take are they'll sometimes give you only one attempt, and it's to prohibit like cheating on being able to open up different browsers and close things, or open it up because you got a question you don't like, because a lot of them are randomly generated. So sometimes they'll only let you open it once, and if your browser crashes in the middle of taking it, that kind of sucks because now you've just failed the test because you don't get a grade. You have to like frantically email people and be like, please, like, let me back in.
Okay.
So yeah, but I've taken plenty of timed online tests that were just fine and more realistic. They do have specific web browsers now that actually don't allow you to open up any other thing on your screen. If you open up anything else on your screen, it like locks you out of the test because it won't let you cheat like that. There's also some programs out there that exist that somebody has to watch you on a webcam, and before you start the test, you have to show them around your entire room, and then you have to have the webcam pointed toward the door and any entrance or exit at any time that they tell you in the middle of the test. Show me the window, show me the door, go to the window.
What? I don't believe you.
Yeah, there's I'm trying to remember what they're called. It's like it's some Proctor company. It's called Procter and Gamble. No, it's like there's some Procter company that's what they do, and that's their whole business is literally to proctor online tests, and they have a person that sits at a remote command center somewhere watching 5 people at once, but they watch and make sure that they don't that people don't cheat.
I believe you.
I mean, you cannot believe me all you want. I don't know how it could be, but it's...
That just sounds crazy.
Well, and all you could really do is have another computer sitting next to where the webcam is so they couldn't see it. It'd be quite easy to do, and have, like, you know, Skyping somebody in or typing other things in. Like, there's plenty of things I'm sure you can still do to cheat. I'm sure you couldn't give a super secure test that way, but could you give, you know, some semi-secure test that way? Sure. And especially with the increase and influx of for-profit colleges, I mean, they really don't care. They're just there to make money.
Isn't all colleges for-profit?
No, most colleges are not for-profit. For-profit colleges are like your University of Phoenix Online. I don't even know if University of Phoenix Online is actually a for-profit college or not, but I attribute it the same as most for-profit colleges.
Right.
I think it is, actually, but...
So, if they're not for-profit, why's tuition so high?
Because it all goes back into the school. Why do you think they have, like, buildings made of fucking marble and, like, ivy growing everywhere? Because you gotta spend it on something. Why do you think professors can get... I have no idea. Ivy League colleges are super expensive.
Is it called Ivy League because of the ivy they have growing?
I actually think that had... I'm trying to... I used to know this backstory behind it, and I don't remember what it is. I think what it was... If I recall, and this could be wrong, and I want to look it up in a minute because I want to know if I'm right, but I want to try to do this from what I was told before to see if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of institutions back in the day that were all like competing to be the best institution. And a handful of them actually had the climate and the ability to grow ivy at the time. And the ones that, the really well-respected ones that could grow ivy became the Ivy League colleges. Like, that's what the name is. It really, nowadays, has nothing to do with anything else except back in the day that they could grow ivy.
That's weird.
Like Georgetown University, not an Ivy League college, but it was because they couldn't support ivy at the time in their climate or didn't have access to it or something like that. Now that I've said that random story, I'm going to look it up.
That's just like a wives' tale.
Ivy League college... what's it called? Backstory? Or etymology, is that what it would be? The history of the Ivy League college. Ivy League schools are considered to be the most prestigious of all colleges in the United States. These schools are primarily located in the northeast part of the country. 8 total colleges are considered Ivy League, blah, blah, blah. The term Ivy League came out in 1954 when the NCAA Athletic Conference for Division I was formed. At the time, the elitism of the schools was really due to the prestige in the realm of sports like basketball. Although the term Ivy League was not created until the 50s, many of these schools were in existence as far back as the 1600s. Something Harvard, blah, 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 blah. Fort Lowell University, Pennsylvania. The smallest Ivy League school, Dartmouth, was in 1789. Oh, that doesn't say why they were called the Ivy League colleges, though. It just says what it was about. Origins of the Ivy League. Oh God, there's a tractor coming underneath my view. Where's my league come from? The universities belonging to the Ivy League are Brown, Columbia, Cornell, Dartmouth, Harvard, Pennsylvania, Princeton, and Yale. The idea dates back to October 33 when Stanley Woodrow, a sports writer for New York Herald, used the phrase Ivy colleges to describe those schools which had common athletic programs.
What does Ivy have to do with athletic programs?
I don't know. When initiated by administrators of the 8 schools in September of 48, the Ivy Group was concerned about growing interest in college athletics. Oh, what? I said this is not anything like the backstory that I heard. Ivy League. What does Ivy have anything to do with basketball?
The famous
Ivy League, according to Google's dictionary, 1930s with reference to ivy traditionally going on the walls of university buildings. That's not. It's not the same thing. It's generated due to some of the most prestigious, best universities. Members, history, origin of the name. The custom of planting... Wait, here we go. Here's something about ivy. Students have long revered the ivied walls of older colleges. Planting the ivy was customary class day ceremony as many colleges in the 1800s. In 1850, class day was placed upon the university calendar. The custom of planting the ivy, while the ivy oration was delivered or rose about this time. What? There were older colleges, Northeastern University.
Maybe it does have to do with the Ivy, and from what you were just mumbling there, it sounds like only the older colleges were basically covered in Ivy because they were older, been around longer. So
yeah, I guess
made them Ivy League.
I guess I still don't. Yeah, I don't understand what the term Ivy has to do with the basketball, unless they were just saying these basketball teams were coincidentally from older universities that had Ivy on the walls.
Right. Yeah. The basketball thing.
So I'm sure somebody in the comments will inform me of why I'm wrong, but then somebody else who will actually know for sure will state a comment as well. But yeah, online colleges, like my master's degree, my first master's degree was online, my second master's degree was online, and my DMP is online.
So I guess my next question about online school is, do you ever have a teacher, or is it all just reading and...
So, that good question, good question. My first master's degree in IT was... I liked it the best of all the online classes I've ever taken, because what it was, that was kind of when online colleges or online courses were very new, and this was at the same place I got my undergraduate from, so it was a well-established university. It wasn't like one of those, you know, up and coming, just brand new online colleges. But what they did was once a year, for 4 semesters that existed throughout the year, they had a teacher who taught the classes live to a camera. And any students that were taking it that semester who were local were allowed to participate in those classes as well. And I was a local student, so I actually got to go to a lot of the classes if I wanted to. I'm trying to get this bail out of the way. And I would sit in the classroom with the professor who was recording the lecture for the next 4 semesters. And there was always a professor who taught the classes, but only once a year did they teach the classes per se. But you actually, the courses were based on you watching a lecture as if you were there. You just couldn't ask questions.
So I guess my next question is, since you were there, could you ask questions, and would that be part of the video that was shown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it was kind of interesting because sometimes I would go there not planning on asking any questions. But most of the time I was the only student in the classroom because there wasn't many people who were local in this program. And often I would get caught off guard because I would be surfing the internet. And he'd be like, "So Jeff, what do you think?" And I'd be like, like,
I wasn't listening to you.
Everybody to see. It was also very interesting when those classes happened that I would get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of class. There were 3-hour lectures, so I'd get up and go to the bathroom at some point, and the professor would still continue talking to an empty room. And so I'd come back and like be the only one in class, and he's still just talking away. But I did have professors emailing me a lot because when they found out I was a local student, if they were doing a lecture, asking me to please come to my class tomorrow because it's way easier to actually lecture to somebody than just to the camera. So it made me feel obligated to go to most of these classes. The only one I never went to was there was one at 8 o'clock in the morning every Friday, and I did not go to that class ever. But all the ones that were anytime after 8 o'clock, I went to all those, so that for one, it helped because the professors got to know me and then they had it easy on me. It was a new master's program, so it was kind of nice.
That probably was fantastic. Like you were like, that's the best damn schooling
it's the
ever.
best way to be the teacher's pet for sure. Because you can, do. I can't say I had to do any less work, but that program also was not difficult at all. It was very, what is the term for it? Everything was project and programming oriented, so it was a lot of fun. It was like, we're going to teach you all this stuff, and throughout the semester, what you're going to turn in at the end is a project that you made, the series of websites that does this, and you learn all these different programming things about the websites, and like web coding at the time, what it was back in 2005, and make a website that utilizes these features and has some functionality. So it was cool because you were just working on something that you had this end product that was just fun to do.
Right.
So it was not bad at all. There was some bad classes. I had to take like a management class with this lady who was a real pain in the ass. And this was funny because she only had an optional midterm and a final exam. All she had. I didn't watch any of her lectures. I had all the books that I was supposed to have, and I figured I will just try to take the final exam because it was an open book final exam. I will just try to take the final exam and pass it if I can. Well, I made a mistake and got my class syllabuses mixed up and actually scheduled my exam because you actually had to go in for some of the exams to your local site if there was that type of exam in the class. So I was supposed to go to a place, which for me was the university, to go schedule time with a proctor to go sit there and write out this exam. And it was a written exam, not a multiple choice. It was like you're writing essays on questions about these management topics. And I scheduled it for the day after the deadline was because I looked at the wrong syllabus. So technically I ended up failing the class, but she let me take an incomplete if I mastered the course material and took both the midterm and the final.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, fuck, this is going to be shitty. I'm going to have to, like, take both of these and do all the studying and all the stuff for it. So I scheduled the midterm, and the proctor at my school was like, I know you're supposed to come in and do these things, and you have a 2-hour window, but we're not going to be here, so we're just going to send it to you via email, so just email it back to us in 24 hours when you're done.
Jesus.
And she sent me the final exam on accident.
Oh,
so
wow.
what I did is I spent hours writing like the most amazing essay I could ever have because I had all the books in front of me. And I sent it to the professor and I was like, look, this mistake happened. They accidentally sent me the final exam instead of the midterm. So I didn't feel right about having already seen the final, not finishing it. You know, I made some excuse of why not to take the midterm. So basically she just graded that instead and I got a 4-point in the class.
Wow, nice.
So there's ways to cheat the system, for sure.
It just seems like it'd be so much easier. But, I don't know, the kind of learner I am... I don't know. I mean,
that is the hardest thing about online classes is because it's self-directed, for one. I need to... Like, my DMP program's hard as hell for me. I'm 3 days behind right now already in my new semester because I just don't have the ambition to go in and do what I'm supposed to do because I have to do everything. Nobody teaches me anything.
Right.
Here's your assignment. Now I have to go fulfill all the obligations of this assignment, whether it's reading my own lectures, finding my own articles, reading 18 chapters of the book. Nobody's giving me a brief rundown of what I was supposed to learn in those chapters like they do with a lecture.
Yeah. See, like, for me, if I understand something, like, if I get it, I get it. Like, I've self-taught myself different programming languages and stuff. But I had a framework to go on, you know, because I had someone at one point teach me the basics of programming. I don't think I could have self-taught myself from the beginning. I feel like there's bits of knowledge, and if you don't understand something, you just don't, I don't know, it feels like you're building on a bad foundation, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and a lot of people do terribly at online school because they don't have a good foundation or don't have the habits, the study habits that they need to succeed in that type of environment. But there's also some people who, if you go to a normal college that doesn't have attendance requirements, never show up to class and do just fine.
Yeah.
So, I honestly, I hate colleges that have an attendance policy that say you have to be here for these lectures or whatever. Because I feel if I'm taking the class and I feel that you're an ineffective instructor and I would learn better on my own, then that's my prerogative.
But then it just feels like you could just go down to your library and pick up some books. I guess.
Well, you can, but you don't get credit though. Right. Yeah, that's the thing is there's a lot of like Harvard, many other places, Harvard, MIT. They'll have those online learning centers that anybody can partake in those classes, and they're literally just a recycled class that they've taught, but they just put it out there for the public. You don't get any credit for it, but you can take it. I mean, and if I take the same one class, and because then some of them even are proctored and have tests, it's like what is it? Something EU. God, what is that thing called? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
You never seen these before? The Harvard educational programs? I'll have to look them up in between episodes. But yeah, you can actually sign up for classes in some of them that have professors and proctors. They have people who volunteer to do this on the side for free well, they might get paid by the school, but for people to take these classes for free, but they don't count as any credit.
Huh. So
but they'll grade your shit, give you assignments, and
that'd be kind of a cool way to like see if this thing is right for you. Hell, see if you can pass the course, and then actually take it.
Yeah, but then when you do, you're gonna be like, God damn it, why do I have to do this shit again? Like,
yeah, I suppose. Yeah. So to change the subject, what are your thoughts on TwitchCon?
It's a convention for Twitch people. I mean, I didn't go to it last year, so I mean, TwitchCon
last year was the second year actually, so this is the third.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the third year. So I mean, TwitchCon is just like any other of those gaming events. It's just mainly Twitch related. Like think of Minecon. At least TwitchCon, it's a lot of creators getting together who do all these random different games, so you can kind of have any vendors that you want there to make it like more of a thing, any panels that you want. Minecon is the one that's more baffling to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's actually a really good point. I don't know, see, I went the first year and I hated it so much. Worst convention experience of my life.
When you went the first year though, how often did you stream?
No.
Yeah, like 3 times total. Like,
yeah, something like that. I mean, I was on 6 fucking panels though. Most panels I've ever done in my life.
That I do find kind of amazing, that you were on so many panels at TwitchCon as a person who didn't stream.
Yeah. I don't know, the tickets went on sale today to date our content. And they're $180 for partners. Like, I don't know, it just seems...
For partners?
Yeah. Just seems so high to me.
Is there media passes?
No.
Probably not, because everybody would be eligible for them.
Right.
That much for partners. $180 for partners?
Yeah.
Because not because I'm like this great person or anything, but you know, I paid for PAX twice, and every other convention I've ever gone to has been free.
Right.
Because of either panels or media passes or something like that. So I would have a hard time paying $180 to go to any of those, let alone, you know, something that you are one of the draws for. Like for TwitchCon, aren't people going to see the partners? Isn't that one of the big reasons that people are going that aren't partners?
And I don't know how it was last year. Like I said, I went the first year and I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't go back last year. But if it's anything like the first year, it was very small. Like the majority of the people there were the streamers or whatever. And then there were fans, but they weren't the majority for sure. And then the floor where like there was vendors and stuff was almost like a trade show. It wasn't like PAX or something. It was very small time, and it was mostly people that wanted this direct access to Twitch partners to talk to them, like companies like Discord and Skype and GameWisp and like all these companies that just really want the FaceTime with Twitch stream.
Well, right. That's why I find it amazing that why does it cost so much for the Twitch partner? How much does it cost for a non-partner?
I don't know. I don't actually know. Because I don't think they've opened tickets to the public yet. I think it was just been partners today.
Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Just because I think that the draw of who's going to pay to be at TwitchCon, especially from the vendor perspective, that's what's going to make Twitch money, is the vendors paying to be there, right?
Right.
That's their draw, is because the partners are going to be there. That's the hope, that the partners are going to be there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. And like, then not to sound like an asshole, but like the fans that were there, it was the worst fan experience I think I've ever had too, because they didn't have anything to do. And so normally when you meet with some people, you'll talk with them for 20 minutes or something like that, and then that's it. But at TwitchCon, it was like, all right, now we're going to spend the entire day with you because we found you and you now belong to us.
We found you. We love you forever. We hug you and squeeze you.
Yeah, that's really what it was. Like I remember every day sitting down to eat lunch, and then like people gather around your table, and like they're not even sitting down with you. They're like standing over you while you eat. It's just like, God, I want to breathe and swallow.
It's just so weird. But I mean, but here's the deal: if Twitch makes that much money, from it. Like, if it's working for them, then hell, more power to them. They found a way to make a lot of money from this, and that's what businesses do, right?
Yeah.
Twitch is very good at also dumping it back into, like, making their infrastructure better. Like, I think Twitch is very good with what they do with their money. So any money that they can get, that's great. But it's just, I would not have I never expected Twitch to have their own TwitchCon in the first place. But I'm so much more, I've so rarely streamed because it's a whole different ball game to stream than it is to make YouTube videos.
Right.
And I'm more of a YouTube person than a Twitch person, though I'd love to be a Twitch person. I love interacting with the audience and stuff when I can pay attention to it. I have a real hard time, like, watching the chat and playing a game because that's not what I've ever done before. But I'm not in that world too much, though, so I don't know what people really want out of it. The whole donations and tipping and things like that baffle me because, that's what really runs Twitch, and I wish YouTube was better about, like, here's a donation button for these people and videos you like, and you don't have to rely on third parties like Patreon and, GameWisp and all to make that more fan funding that somehow has thrived on other platforms.
Like, I wish YouTube did more. Like, subscribing needs to mean more, basically. Agreed. Subscribing literally at least used to put you on a list that you would see my stuff when it came out now. And it doesn't even do that anymore. Right. I mean, it does at the back end somewhere, but it's... Yeah. But, yeah, it really doesn't. Like, there should be... I mean, on Twitch, you subscribe, you have to pay money to do it. It's $5 a month or whatever. And I'm not saying that's what YouTube should do. Though, it'd be kind of cool if they had some kind of tier of that as well. And they could give benefits. Like, there could be, like, a comment section that's only for... Hell, I would be happy if there was a comment section only for subscribers, period. Like, never mind, a paid subscriber. Not even a paid subscriber. Right, just current subscriber. If you want to comment, even if you want it to be a hateful comment, you have to subscribe to me first. Right. That would be fantastic. That would actually be really cool. That would be really cool. It would really limit negative comments from people. Yeah. And the people who were giving negative comments, hey, at least they subscribed, at least for a minute. I mean, even if it was a toggle, even if the YouTube put it in our hands, like, hey, guess what? This month we've added, you can turn on subscriber-only comments. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I would be excited with that. How is YouTube's live streaming service? I've been tempted to use it. I've only just heard because I want to check it out. Bad things. Only heard bad things. But you're under contract with Twitch, actually. Yeah, but our Twitch contract. We talked about that before. But it says that... So, I don't think they've ever enforced this on anyone, but the contract does say that your live content must live on Twitch. So, no. So, remember, this is the discussion. Was it you? Maybe it wasn't you that I think we have had this discussion. I've had this discussion with a lot of people, because I don't actually believe in the contract. I don't care about this contract. No, because my new contract does not say that anymore. Really? My new contract specifically says exactly what... I thought you were the one telling me that that's the intention of the contract. That's what I've been told. The intention is that if... Well, no, wait. If you live stream it on Twitch first, it has to live on Twitch for a certain amount of time. Right. But I can live stream anywhere that I want to, anything without any obligation to Twitch. See, that's what I understood it to mean, or at least what I understood they wanted to mean. But I think that they purposely made it vague so that maybe they could... Oh, my first contract made it extremely vague. That it was very much that I knew I could not stream anywhere else, or it would be a violation of Twitch terms of service. The only reason I actually realized that was wrong is because I made a comment about that to Aurelian one day, and she was like, "That's not what they're supposed to really mean." And she was explaining the intent of what she thought the contracts were all supposed to be. And then the new contract, when they changed their terms or whatever, it says it like very explicitly, clearly that this is only in relation to if you stream this on Twitch and it's gaming content, first it has to be here for X number of hours. Right. But I basically have no obligation. If I could stream anywhere else I wanted to at any time I wanted to, and if it never touched Twitch, then it doesn't matter. It's not against contract. I don't think YouTube has the infrastructure that Twitch has to support, like, commenting. There's definitely none of the whole donation bits, all that sort of thing. Though the Twitch bit system is kind of bullshit in my opinion anyways. Like, are you familiar with the
I would
bits?
agree because I still have a hard time understanding it.
Well, it's basically you can buy bits from Twitch, and if you spent like $1.50 on bits, you would get 100 bits. So basically, 50 cents would go to Twitch, and you would get 100 bits. So you'd have $1 worth of bits. That I don't think you can buy them in that small of an increment, but this is just a example. And so then you'd have these 100 bits, and you can cheer in chat for whatever streamer and give them that $1. But Twitch is taking the 50 cents off of that $1.50. So basically, they got into the donation game, and they're taking a big cut off the top. From people buying the bits.
Do you think people are really buying them that often? Or do you think it's that they were given a chunk of them when they started doing the whole bits thing and they still have them that they're using?
No, there's definitely people that buy a lot of them. Like, before bits came out, on average, if I streamed for 3 or 4 hours, I'd make about $50 in donations. Now, no one donates. No one ever donates. They only use
always
bits. Yeah. And the average stream will be like $10 or so in bits. So I make a lot less money from streaming now because of the bit system.
And it's because they're donating less than they were before in the bits?
Right. There's a couple guys, there's 2 different guys actually that are crazy with the bits, and I pray that they keep it up.
They're going to send your kid through college one day.
Basically. Yeah, every month they're like $400 with the bits.
Yeah, that's always nice. See, and I always enjoyed things like the concept of Patreon and GameWisp, but I don't like the fact that it has to be like some third party,
right? Because they're taking a cut off the top.
Well, yeah, they're taking a cut off the top for one, and it's based on, and I don't know, and it's so hard for me because so many people do so well with Patreon. But when I started up GameWisp, and I had so many people telling me that basically I put everything that I own now behind a paywall, even though that was not the case at all. But
right.
People look at that in such a negative way that it was actually very hurtful for me to even start doing that. And it wasn't even, it was like I had one series that I was specifically doing for GameWisp that I was still putting up a week later.
Right.
So it was... Yeah, it's a specific series that's going to go up on GameWisp 7 days early if you are, GameWisp, or if you're a GameWisp subscriber. Otherwise, you're going to see it on my YouTube channel a week later. And people were angry.
Yeah, that always feels like a direct attack, too, whenever people get like that about something.
Yeah,
because
it does. It does.
I mean, it feels like, to me, I felt like I was disillusioned once I realized that the people I thought cared about me as a person didn't. I guess, because that happened at some point for me in YouTube. Is I actually thought like I was making content for, I don't know, like saying online friends sounds fucking weird because you don't know these people, but I don't know. It felt
wait. So are you saying that an online friend is supposed to come and have a dog?
Hey, no. You were an actual online friend. I'm talking about the viewers here.
You're so bitter that I was.
Yeah, because. Hey, I remember whenever you invited someone to go have a drink with you, and they basically thought you were going to try to suck their dick. So
that's very true. But that was after I realized that we had online friends with Minecraft, and it wasn't just random people watching. Yeah, I guess maybe I started more skeptical than you did. That's the thing is you started with thinking everybody was kind-hearted and everybody wants me to succeed, and I started with who the fuck is this crazy guy who wants to come have dogs attack my face at my house?
I don't want dogs. The dogs were in the game.
Oh, whatever. There was something about dogs.
No, so they just added dogs to Minecraft, and we had this whole prank war thing going. And I suggested that part of the video be in real life. Like I come to your house, and I was thinking it'd be like a whole weekend thing. Come hang out, whatever, and just shoot this one little short video where like I pretend to punch you, and then we cut back to the game, and the dogs attack you in the game.
And you were so bitter that I.
Well, I wasn't bitter at the time. Because you were just like, nah. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't think much of it. And then years later, I found out you thought I was like a psychopath.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know this guy like at all. I don't even remember how long it had been at that point.
It had been a while. It had been a fair amount. There are people that meet in apps and they swipe right and they're fucking within an hour.
Oh,
that's
true. That's true. Those didn't exist back then.
No. Okay, so if Tinder had been around, we would have worked this out better.
If I met you on Tinder,
you'd let me punch you?
So much. Had we ever actually spoken?
I feel like we definitely had. We had to.
No, because I don't think we didn't have a Skype channel back then. That's when, remember, because the first time you told me you talked to somebody on Skype, and I was just like, how does this guy just sitting at night talking to these random people on Skype? Like, I didn't know Skype even had a chat interface at the time. And when you said you were Skyping with people, I thought you were physically just, like, calling people up, like, hey, what's going on, man? And it was like, because you were saying, like, oh, I talked to blah, blah, blah for the first time last night. Because I think you were telling me you talked to Co.
Yeah, I think it was Co.
One night. And I was just like, you just, like, called Co on Skype? Like, that's pretty ballsy. So I didn't even have Skype installed at the time because I would have known it had a chat interface then. So I'm not sure that, like, we'd ever physically spoken to each other. We'd only typed to each other through, because we used to actually use Google Chat a lot.
Google Chat?
Or Gmail Chat. Like, whatever that chat is next to Gmail, we used to talk through that.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't rember this.
Yeah. I think that's
Are you sure?
Yeah. That's the way I found out, like, what your name was, because it, like, popped up. And I was like, oh, that's this guy's name.
I don't remember that, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I knew your name was Jason because you say it in the beginning of every single one of your videos ever. But I mean, your full name.
Huh? Yeah, I don't remember that actually.
Yeah, I could probably still find it in my history because Gmail saves everything.
Yeah, they definitely do that. Wow. Well,
but what were we going with that real quick? You were saying that people and the goodness in them, and I sidetracked it with.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you basically nailed it on the head. I'm naive. I thought people were like genuinely cared about the content creator and thought that, you know, they wanted, like you said, they want us to succeed and yay for us. And no, they just want the majority of people just want their content.
Yeah, the majority. I do definitely think there are some people out there that are. We've met some of the people that we hang out with normally at conventions that definitely care about our well-being and enjoy the content as a side piece. But yeah, I think most people are just like, most people have probably already stopped this video because they're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
Right, they're still they have not hired a worker. For one thing.
And they should do submissions.
And do submissions, right. Well, you know, real quick, before we end the video, I guess one thing I have found through Twitch, since we started talking about Twitch, is I've set up a Discord, like a sub-Discord, with people that subscribe. So people that subscribe can join this Discord and maybe have a little chat group or whatever. And I feel like those are the people, those are the viewers that like actually give a shit. Basically, I think after all these years I finally found them. Is what I'm trying to say. And
it was through Twitch though,
right? It was.
Not through YouTube.
No,
YouTube is a hopeless like cesspool.
It kind of is. It's kind of a sad sack of shit these days.
Let's just put these videos up on Twitch at the same time. Like we'll both put them up, but just as a live stream video every other day at 2 o'clock, and it'll just look like we're live streaming this thing together. Maybe we can even have the donations going up, but we'll just have a disclaimer at the beginning. We will not read the donations. We're gonna pretend we don't see them, quote unquote. But if you donate high enough, you might break our character, and we might mention it.
Right. Donate now.
Donate now.
All right. Well, we're out of time.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.